Hi guys, and welcome to my Mythic Nymue guide. So on this one I'll take you through the new stuff on Mythic, not what happened on Heroic. And then I'll also probably take you through how I set up the groups, because on Mythic you have a new ad that you need to kill. And I'll show you the perspective of a healer, a DPS and a tank on this fight. Just to let you know that we ran 5 healers on this, 2 tanks, and the rest DPS. It's much easier with 5 healers because there is a bit of output going and it just means that you can cover up mistakes. The DPS isn't actually that hard to hit, so definitely better with 5 healers. Okay, so first things first, there's a new plant that you need to soak on Mythic, only for melee. So you can see here, it's a red plant. If you don't soak it, it's going to blow up and do a lot of damage. So essentially, just make sure that all the melee moves the unit, and that you soak this red plant before you soak green plants around it. Essentially, if you soak a green plant and it blocks off the red plant soak, then it makes it more likely that the red plant's going to go off and explode and wipe the raid. So the next thing is a new ad. Before we do that, we need to go about how you get to the new ad. So basically this full bloom happens here, and we get our monk, who is a non-tank, to soak it. You need to get 1 person per time you go back to soak it. He takes it with a big cooldown, and you can see that he makes a nice big path for his DPS that's coming with him to go towards that ad. So then you have the ad itself, okay, and you have to kill it within a certain time and dodge the swirlies. You can see where I freeze it here. This line, it's very, very unclear, but this is what you need to dodge, okay? And you have a certain amount of time to essentially kill it before it explodes the raid. And obviously if there's circles in there, it's not going to be the easiest of things to dodge, so you need to really be careful on that. I will go through how we set this up and what I think is best to set up DPS wise. And one note is when you come back from the Mythic Add, you normally kill it a bit quicker, so you can go to the sides and help because you've got the green path as well. Okay, so basically I've already taken you through the healer perspective on the ad, so I'll show you just a phase of melee and tank so you can see what we have to do. So nothing much happens at the beginning. You just basically need to make sure that you are doing as much damage as possible. You do hero on pull, and then here we can see the first set of soaks come out. So it's good to note that every time you soak on this difficulty, there's a swirly left behind underneath. That's why it makes it a bit more difficult. So you can see I've got it. I trust my other tank to taunt straight away so I can get there a bit quicker and turn into cat form. And I put it as far out as possible away from the ad as well. There's the first red soak, so I'll come back and I'll help that. And then this is where it starts getting difficult. You can see you have the swirly spawn after you soak it. And then also lots and lots of lines. And on top of that, my other tank is now running out. I need to make sure I have gone out. So I will gladly take a swirly that only does 400k to a tank to make sure that I'm in position and I'm not getting stunned and I can taunt off on my co-tank, because otherwise it does a lot of damage to them. There's the second red one. We're not going to soak any greens during this phase. We're just going to get into the red one. I'm not doing it because I know I'm going to have the bomb come out. I'll try and stay away from the other guy. And then you just make sure you play it safe and get back. Then the full bloom happens. People that need to get in, get in. So I need to, because I'm going to the left and I take my group. I make sure I give them a line over everywhere. And we just start nuking the ad. One really good thing to do here is, as a tank, you just make sure you get into all soaks you possibly can. You're not really going to die to any mechanics here, and your DPS are. So if they're moving out of stuff, you just make sure you get in, and then you're fine. Obviously you don't take damage, you don't need to, but getting these soaks down in this phase is very important. And that's that for that one. Okay, so for the ranged one, we'll just come in at the continuum just after we've killed one set of ads. And this is the last set of ads we need to kill. So you can see just how many more lines there are in the room now and how much harder that makes it. But essentially as ranged, you just want to be permanently soaking. You don't have to do the red plant, you just need to be doing the green plants non-stop. So you can see loads come up. Taking 2 stacks is fine, it's not going to kill you. If you're on top of these, taking 2 or 3 stacks is fine, because then you won't be taking as much damage from the plants. But you can see our hunter is just permanently looking to soak, doing one, moving on to the other, making sure they know the timings of them so they're not screwing themselves over. But yeah, essentially it is just permanently soaking, making sure you're in range of the healers, so you're not basically going out of range, because that's actually a big problem on this fight. Is we have people drop off bombs, and when they drop off bombs they go too far out, but not doing that in this instance. You can see just how many absorbs there are. There's absolutely loads of them. So ranged are permanently busy and should be permanently busy. No one should be not soaking. They don't do any bonus damage to you. The only bonus damage they do is when they're actually up. So you don't take damage, like big damage from soaking them, so you should be permanently soaking essentially. So very good job for our ranged here. You can see they're all nicely spread out as well. And then this is the range perspective on the add. This can get very nasty in this phase. There's lines everywhere. Hunter doesn't have anywhere to go, has to cross the line again, has to cross the line again. That's already on 3 stacks. Has to cross the line again, that's on 5 stacks. How they survive this is incredible, but finally drops on 1 stack, and then you just need to keep ahead of it, basically, and keep moving and nuke that add down as quick as you can. Okay, that is the hardest one to do, that last one. And obviously you can go and help kill the wardens on the sides, then you'd stack back up again and kill the boss for free. So one thing that's important is the groups that you send back. So we use this, I'll make this available, not a problem. But essentially the way I've set this up is I've done 3 casters with a Demon Hunter, I've done a bit of a mixed match group with an Augment, and then I've done a Wind Fury group. Okay. The way that I've set out the healers is I've rotated them around quite a bit, but I've put the Monk on the final add, solo healing with an Augment Evoker. So they get a little bit of help from the Augment Evoker, and then every other time I've sent 2 healers to the Mythic Add. So we've got a Discipline Priest and a Provoker. We've got a Paladin with the Wind Fury group and a Resto Shaman. So what I think is good about this is you have a Wind Fury group that's all built in synergy, you have a Cast group with a Demon Hunter that's built in synergy, and then you have a miscellaneous group that has the Monk buff and has an Augment Evoker. So it should all be absolutely fine. So essentially the TLDR is you soak the red plant ASAP, you soak green plants also ASAP, but after the red plant, and then you move out of the swirlies. You have a good setup on your groups as to who goes where, and everybody knows where they're going. You use the weak aura for that, it's very easy, I'll link it. And essentially you never stop soaking and you kill the boss, and the damage output isn't even that bad when you do it that way. So yeah, thanks guys, hope you enjoyed it. As always, a special thanks to those that helped me create the video. It means a lot to me. If there's any questions, please just ask me in the comments. I'm happy to help anyone with anything. Yeah, goodbye guys.